Hello and welcome back to Drive Driver Driven. I'm Humble and today we have light. I didn't really film much because A, it was a pain, and B, there was a lot going on, but I did want to show you the results as well as the, what I ended up with and how I ran everything. So without further ado, let me spin the camera around and show you what's going on. So starting with, some of my leftovers here. These are basically the same lights you see in every shop video light install everywhere. These are the Barina T8 LED lights. So like this guy, it's a single LED strip that's about 8 feet long, and they came in a box of 10, and I ended up using, 10 for the garage here. Initially, actually, I had them sort of plugged in and set up with these guys. They have these power strips with a switch, and I had set them up in the ceiling in a couple different places to just try and test the light output and see how much was enough without being overbearing. Because you'll see in a lot of videos that the shops will just be overlit, which it's just too white, it's too bright. That might be great for some things, but I just need enough light to work by. For like these larger bays, yeah, I could put another string of lights down the middle, but I just didn't think it was necessary because it's still plenty bright in here. And while, yes, it is daylight out, just having these lights on in the garage does make a huge difference. So I thought that having 10 was sort of a good balance between having a nice bright workspace, but not overblowing every video stream ever and having too much light and whatever. So this seems like a happy medium. Just for information's sake, this is about 1,000 square feet. So one of these lights per 100 square feet seems to be a pretty good, decent amount. The way I ran these is I have, if we start in the middle here, you can see this hole in the ceiling. This is where this unpainted strip, that's where these lights used to be. Pulled them down. They were formerly fluorescent that had LED tubes adapted to them. And there was just 4 in the middle of the ceiling here. And what I did is I got up in this space and I pulled out the old wiring and just ran everything to this middle section. So all the lights here on the edges on both sides run up this way to a little junction box up there. And then that wire comes and meets here. And then it'll branch from here on both sides. Those meet in the middle. And then there's another junction box where basically the 2 strips on either side meet, this middle strip in the middle, and then everything is powered from a central circuit. And everything works well. So I wanted to have these junction boxes put up, and what I ended up doing is they come with these little jumper wires or whatever, so you can hardwire, and these just weren't long enough. So it came with a bunch of these longer jumper cables, whatever, to go from light to light, and I ended up chopping these in half and using them to connect to these junction boxes, so I had the additional length. And then for the middle set here, I ended up using just a full one of these to run up and then back into the attic area or whatever to meet the junction box for this middle strip. I haven't fastened the loose wires to the ceiling or whatever on the sides here. I'll get to that, but right now I'm just happy to have these lights up. Another sort of garage improvement is tunes. I did not have any tunes out in the garage whatsoever. And I just picked up this, JBL speaker I don't even know how big it is. It's a battery powered unit, which is great because most of the time it'll just live here in the garage and I can plug it in. But when we have a pool party or have a bunch of friends over out in the backyard or something like that, I can drag this speaker out there and have just Bluetooth tunes available. And I've already done that a couple of times and it served its purpose very well. It's plenty loud. It easily fills the garage plus some, and it's not even working hard. I think most of the time it just sits at about quarter volume because it kicks out a lot of sound. And then the last thing that I've done sort of kind of in the meantime is I hung up our cord reel here, and it kind of plugs in behind the shelf there, but we're getting closer to having a working garage. I just need to cut up the table space to fit here, get another one here, and well, I need to ditch this and go with the cabinets that I spoke about earlier. But yeah, getting these lights up was a huge pain because we've had a heat wave and I haven't been able to come out here early enough to crawl into the attic. So I ended up doing it on one of the hottest days we had and didn't realize that it was 100 degrees out. So was trying to avoid some minor heat stroke that day, but otherwise I'm just glad to have it done. Of course, it can't just be the garage. There's been other house projects going on, and while we have lights here, I have to duplicate this same setup for the other garage in the house because it doesn't really have much in the way of lights. I think there's a light bulb that is currently functioning, so I need to do the same treatment over there. Other projects in the house is just some minor home improvements, like we had to do some work in the utility room to stack the laundry, put a fridge back there, and put in a new sink. And of course, that meant like 1,000 runs to the hardware store because you can never have the thing you need. And in the midst of all that, and again, in the midst of a heat wave, the air conditioner failed in the house. It's a big-ish house. It's like 2,800 square feet, and it's I think a 5,500 ton or pound, whatever it is, unit. It's a really big unit, and the compressor died. Everyone says, "Oh, check the capacitor or check the fuses," and I went through the easy stuff and watching some HVAC videos online is like, here's how you check your continuity. And if these things have continuity, well, it's screwed. And turns out it's screwed. So it looks like the compressor's locked up of all things. So there's that. And so I'm in the midst of dealing with that AC failure, which is, of course, eating time away from the garage. All that's a long end run around to say that I desperately want to get back on the car, and I'm hoping by the next video we can make that happen because I'm itching to get this car on the road. It's funny looking back saying how, oh, we'll get this done in the spring and I'll have it for summer. And here we are officially in the fall now, and we're still sitting here. I mean, buying a house, moving and all that aside, it's just funny how things work out. So we'll get it done. I want to get on the car. It's just homeowner stuff, man. Like who knew? Nobody mentions this when they buy a house. It's all rainbows and, oh my God, homeownership is awesome. And until you have to fix stuff, and then and then it's just one problem after another. I guess that's sort of old, new to me ownership house things. But yeah, forewarning, that's what you get to look forward to. So all that being said, I am making improvements still. I'm trying to get the space here in some form of condition where I can start actively working out of it without having to move stuff or shuffle things around, which seems like a taller ask than I thought, but it is what it is. So please bear with me, have some patience. I just wanted to let you know where we're at, what's going on, and how things are going. So that being said, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.